Hi there, this is Jeanette Comerford for Whimsy Stamps, and today I have a one-layer card for you. It features the Whimsy stamp set ice cream truck as well as their stitched landscape dies. And just because this is a single layer card, it doesn't have to be boring. I've added a few elements to sort of make it look interesting and fun. So I'm just pointing out the stamps I'm using. I'm just making my card base here. This is a piece of Neenah cardstock that's cut lengthwise in half and then scored. And I'm making another card base for another card, and this is cut widthwise in half and then scored. So I'm going to use my Misty so that I can line up the stamps to be exactly where I want them on the card. This has become my go-to tool for when I'm stamping. So I want that ice cream truck sort of in the middle portion. I'm going to make a little sort of grass hill for it, so I'm just trying to figure out how high that stamp has to be up. And I want to put this sort of musical melody stamp as well, and so I realized it would have to be to the right, so I had to sort of push that ice cream truck a little bit over from where I originally thought I was going to stamp it. Once I'm happy with that, I'm just going to pick up the stamps on the lid. I'm inking them up with Memento Tuxedo Black ink, stamping it, and there was a few lines that were not completely black, so I just redid it. Now I have a piece of post-it tape there. This is the post-it tape that has adhesive over the whole surface, and I'm stamping it off so that it can be a mask. So I'm just going to take my scissors now and just fussy cut around the truck so that I have a nice mask. I'm going to place that over the ice cream truck. I'm going to die cut that piece of green cardstock with one of the stitched border dies to make a nice little grassy hill here for the ice cream truck. And now I'm using some soft pool ink, and I'm going to be doing some ink blending. So I'm just tapping that excess off on the scrap piece of cardstock I have there so that I can get a nice soft blend up and around the ice cream truck. And I'm not really bothering too much about blending below the ice cream truck because I'm going to have that sort of grass die cut there, so I don't have to worry about that. But I am making sure that I have a nice soft color around the ice cream truck, a little bit over where the musical notes are. So I'll just keep blending until I get the depth of color that I want. It's easier to sort of start off soft and build up than put too much on. I'm going to do a little bit of blending on the top of the hillside here with some jelly bean ink. And now I'm just going to do a quick little coloration of the ice cream truck with Copic markers. I've listed all the markers I used on the screen, and I'll just put a little bit of music on for you so you can listen to that while you're watching, and I'll catch you back at the end of the coloration to finish up the card. To finish up my card, I'm going to be adding a few different elements. I am adding this liquid applique to the ice cream. So this is something I've had sort of for many years, and it's a fun little thing to use. Basically, you sort of paint it on. Mine is a little dried up because it's so old. And you paint it on, and then you let it dry completely, and then you use a heat tool, and it sort of puffs up. So you'll see that in a little bit. The other thing I did, and I didn't record for some reason, I don't know what happened, I added some glossy accents to the two windows. So now I'm going to put that sort of grassy hill underneath the ice cream truck. I'm being careful not to touch the glossy accents and the liquid applique. I would suggest you do those two steps after putting on the border. I sort of got ahead of myself. And I'm just adding a few little sort of white highlights with a Sharpie pen. I decided to add some to the sky. I'm being really careful not to touch the wet glossy accents. And then I let it dry for a good 4 hours. I basically went shopping, came back. Now I'm going to heat up the liquid applique, and you can sort of see it puffs up, it's just super cute. I really like it, and I thought it looked cute on the ice cream. I'm going to add the sentiment now, so I'm just using my little sort of, what is it called, anti-static tool over the hill. And I am going to stamp that sentiment with some Versamark. The sentiment is also in the ice cream truck set. I did it 2 times to make sure I had a really nice impression. Then I'm going to sprinkle some white embossing powder, and I got it all over my mat. What a mess. And then I'm just sort of flicking off any excess and heating it up with my heat tool. So I thought that really added a nice little pop of white to the card. And then I took a little glitter pen and colored the cherry in red. And I took a Prismacolor white coloring pencil and colored inside the ice cream. And a little bit of brown for the cone. And my card is done. Thank you so much for watching. You'll find the supplies and links below this video on YouTube or on my blog.